we're going to be doing a football class. So football can be optional if you want. You can try some of the exercises with or without the football. I'll try and obviously give directions for both, just in case you are sharing one or you don't have one or anything like that. So please join me anyway, whether you have a football or not. We'll start with our feet planted on the mat, nice and tall. We want to lift up through that pelvic floor, pulling the tummy into your spine. Just let the arms hang heavy. Big breath in, and then we're going to roll down. Breathing in when we get to the floor, rolling up. And let's roll down, letting the arms hang, seeing how our body's feeling today. Rolling up. Last one. And up we come, scooting our arms straight out to the side. Let's move into some side bends. Checking out how you're feeling today. Bit of a rush to get organized this morning. Computer, the QuickTime, the audio part of my computer just decided not to work. So that's what I was doing when you saw my head like poking in the corner of the screen, trying to figure out what was going on. Just needed to be restarted. Just what you need when you're running late. Tilt. Oh, hopefully starting to loosen up those bodies. And we'll make the next one the last one. And coming up through center, turning those palms to face the roof, bending the knees, make sure those heels are attached to the floor, double twist, back to center, double twist. So we won't use the football for the whole class, we'll just use it for bits and bobs. Many of the exercises you probably would have done before, and you've probably done a lot of them without the football. So we'll just throw it in there, just for some fun. The first one's going to be quite a strong balance. So if you've got a chair or something nearby that you might want to, or a wall that you might want to use just in case you get the wobbles, you could think about bringing that over now while we finish up the rest of these. Last one. And back to center. Give those shoulders a little bit of a roll. Because we'll be balancing on one leg, we may as well warm up the feet a little bit. So just our same warm up that we always do. We're just going to rise up and lower the heels. So just making sure those ankles are ready for the single leg balance. Rising up and lower, keeping the weight forward. Trying not to let the ankles wobble around too much. And then let's just pedal out our legs. And we'll place the feet back down on the ground. So grab your football. I imagine that a lot of you, many of you will have a ball that's slightly bigger than this. I like to use the smaller ones. So if it may just look a little different for you, your leg is going to be up a lot higher and you might not be able to stand up quite as straight if that ball's a bit bigger. So you just adjust it as you need to. But basically what we want is kind of stepping towards the very middle of your mat, and you're going to straighten out this leg, give or take as much as you think you can today, whilst keeping your chest up. So try and keep your standing foot parallel, and you see what I mean about the balance. You can take your arms out to the side or just have them onto your hips here. So similar to how we would use a slider. So if you've got a slider or a towel, you can do this along the floor, but we're just going to carefully just do a little mini knee bend here. So it's not a really big one. And then we'll just come back up just till we get the feel of it. So inhale, we're going to slide down, and exhale, we're gonna come back up. Inhale, we're going to roll down into a little mini lunge. Exhale, we're gonna stand tall. Nice. So I'm kind of scared to look at the camera in case I lose my balance. But on the next one, I'm going to give it a shot, and we're going to slide down a little bit lower. So we get into a little bit of a stretch. If you lose your balance, just be really careful. Put your hands on the floor, obviously. So now we're in a nice little stretch here. Nice is not the best word to use to describe this. So it's very much a balance exercise, more so than a stretch. Then we're going to come all the way back up. Good. Holding here, we're just going to take it easy a bit. Just roll the ball out and in by bending the knee. So this is just for our standing leg, really. Working on our balance, keeping this tummy pulling in. Good. And let's pause here and spin around. So I'm going to keep my foot on top of the ball as I wiggle around to face the front, and I've got my two hips turned out. So my foot is turned out and my other leg here is also turned out from the tops of the legs like so. All right, so I'm going to try and stay as vertical as I can. I'm just going to straighten out my leg and then pull it back in. Straighten it out, pull it back in. Sit out and in. Feel that kind of wrapping sensation, wrapping your glutes around to the back, down towards your sit bones. That's it, especially your standing leg. We don't want that to slip back to parallel. Okay, keeping that leg straight now, we're going to bend, knee over toe, and stretch. Bend and stretch. So I'm not allowing too much weight to go into that foot because then I'm just going to end up in a weird, awkward split. We don't need that on a Monday morning or ever. Bend, stretch. Just making sure that this knee goes straight out over your toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think that's enough on that leg. Let's bring the ball in and we'll get sorted to do the other side. So, setup is everything. Grab your wall or your chair if you need it for balance. Okay, take a second to get the ball where you think it needs to be, standing up tall. If you don't need to look at the camera, then don't. I'll try and just use my words so you can listen. Straightening out that back leg, looking straight ahead of you, hands on your hips. We're going to do little mini knee bends, just small ones, and then stretch. Small lunge and stretch. Depending on how big your ball is, you may not want to go all the way down. Oop, I knew I was going to lose it there. Keep going. So little mini bends. Maybe after 2 more, we'll have a go at a full lunge. All right, so on the next one, let's slide all the way down, really concentrating on your balance. Sending a bit of weight back into that ball. Feel the stretch in your hip flexor. Looking straight ahead, pulling that tummy in. Feel the stretch, chest up. And let's carefully come all the way back up. Good, we're going to swivel around to face the front. Important to set that underneath leg in its turned out position. And we're going to have this top leg also turned out. Find your balance, stand as tall as you can. Straighten your leg and pull it back in. Straighten it out, pull it back in. Out. And in, that's it. Lifting through the arch of your standing foot. Very nice. All right, next one. We'll keep the leg straight. We're going to, bend and stretch here. Knee over toe. And stretch. Make sure you've set your turnout to something that you can achieve and manage and control. Starting to get a little bit of a burn through my ankle, up into my calf. That's it. Wrapping your glutes around towards your tailbones. Tailbones, sit bones. You have one tailbone, two sit bones. 2 and 1. Let's give the leg a little bit of a shake. I think we've earned the right to come down to the mat now. So if you have a cushion there, you can put under your knees if you know that you have bony knees and they don't like being on the floor, that's fine. It's just a little stretch, and I promise it's nice. So we'll take the hands kind of towards this side of the ball, not all the way on top. And we're going to treat it like a roll down. So you're going to roll the ball away from you. Your hands are separated about shoulder width. And as the ball rolls away, you're going to start to stretch out your spine and press your chest down towards the floor like so. Then you're going to pull up through the tummy like you would with the roll down. Come all the way back to where we started. It's a nice stretch across the shoulder blades, rolling down. Really scoop the belly, keep the shoulders away from the ears. As we start to get a bit flatter, you can start to press your chest gently through your arms. Allow the lower back to dip as well. And then we're going to roll back up. Nice. And we'll go again, rolling down, straightening out the back, and then just pressing the chest through the arms. Feel that intense stretch of the shoulders. So it's up to you to control it. If you don't want to push your chest too far through, then just push it a little bit, maybe even just to there. But if you want to and you want to feel that stretch, let's go all the way through. Up we come. This is the last one. Rolling out and rolling back up. Oh, good. I did promise that we could lie down, so we better do that now. I was just going to go into some other horrendous exercise, but let's just take it a little bit easier. And we'll come onto our backs with our feet on top of the ball, arms out to the side. So I've got my heels resting on the ball, but I don't have the ball touching the backs of my thighs there. Here we go. Spine twist. Inhale over to one side. So you can probably take your twist a little bit further than you normally would because you've got the ball there to control it. A little bit of help. So focus more on the twist than on the abdominal work. Pulling back through center. Inhale over. Pulling back through center. Feeling a nice mobility in the spine. Feel my tummy rumbling this morning. Pre-coffee, pre-breakfast as my reward for getting through class. Okay, so we're going to do one nice, what's the word? Smooth, relaxing, no, neither of those words. Gooey maybe, twist, that's it, back through center, other side, and then let's get those upper abdominals involved. So you're going to leave your feet resting on the ball, hands behind the head, chest lift and lower. Each time we lift, pulling your tummy down towards the spine. I always find Pilates much harder on a Monday because I have literally not done anything since Friday. So I always feel like my abdominal exercises are much harder. Isn't it amazing how quickly your body loses strength? A weekend, one weekend, and you start to lose it. Amazing. Seems not very fair. And then it comes around to Friday and I feel really good and really strong, and then we start that whole process again. Let's go 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and holding this last one. As always, we're going to reach the hands towards the bottom of the mat. We're going to shift my heels so that they're right on the edge of the ball here. Then I'm going to straighten out the legs and pull them back in. Straightening them out, pulling them back in. So I'm lightly resting my heels on the ball. I'm not resting the whole weight of my legs on the ball there. I'm really focusing on keeping my lower back attached to the mat. Keep those shoulders back, fingertips towards the ball. We're going to do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leave the ball stretched, hands behind the head. This time when the ball comes in, we're going to do a little crisscross. We're going to come back to center, stay lifted, and then we'll crisscross. So we're doing both legs, so it's not a real crisscross, slightly modified. I've got the heels resting on the edge of the ball because that means I have to carry the weight of my own legs. If my feet were on top, I'd be more inclined to rest my full body weight into it. So you can adjust that as you need to, as it works for you. Good. So we'll do 1 more. And then back to center, legs are straight, and we'll release down to the mat. Let's bring the ball in slightly closer now so that it's resting underneath your calf muscles. And you're just going to press your legs into the ball and lift straight up into a bridge. No rolling, and just lower straight down. Lift up and down. Straight up and down. We pop the ball underneath sort of your ankles and your calf muscles just to take the pressure off your knee joints. If the ball was way back out here, my knees are much more likely to pop into hyperextension, or if you carry a little bit of extra weight, that's a lot of pressure on those knee joints, so it's better to have the legs supported a bit. And let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to try balance. So we'll hold this next one, holding here. We're going to see if we can come up onto the tips of our fingers, making little teepees with our hands. And then we're going to take 1 finger off at a time, off both hands. So I'm starting with the little fingers, next finger, middle finger now. I'm going to take the thumbs off, so it's just my middle finger. I think I messed up those fingers, doesn't matter. 1 finger on the mat. And then we're going to take 1 arm up, so my back arm maybe. And then let's see if we can take the other one and just hold a nice, strong balance. You should feel the backs of your legs really working. Let's squeeze those glutes a little harder. Knit the ribs together. And then let's see if we can lower down without using our hands. So just straight down to the mat. Bend those knees if you think you need a break. And we're going to go straight back up with the arms reaching up to the roof. So slowly up we go. If you get the wobbles, just pop your arm down. Holding nice and strong. So interesting to feel the movement of the ball. If it generally goes to one side, you know you're compensating somewhere. Let's lower straight back down. Feeling the backs of those legs. Now let's press into the ball. Up we come. Oh, nearly lost it. And lower down. I was trying not to talk while that garage is opened. As always, nice sound in the morning. Let's try again. Up. And lower. And we'll hold the next one. And lower. Bend those knees. All right, we're going to get the arms moving. So straightening out those legs again. This is the last time we're going up, but we'll be up for a little while. Lifting up. Let's see if we can take those arms all the way open. Oh, then you can use them on the floor if you fall. Bring them back in. Take them behind and bring them back in. Again, out to the side. Pull them back in, behind. Pull it back in and lower down. Amazing. Pull those knees in. You're just going to give yourself a little bit of a cuddle. Maybe you're rocking side to side. Oh, maybe a little stretch out of the legs, straightening one. Just gently, oh, burn, all the burn. Stretching this other leg, if you can, if you're not on fire like I am. Hello, hamstrings. I'm going to be complaining about this for the rest of the week. And other side. Oh, it's burning. I am doing a stretch class tomorrow at 4 o'clock. If that time works for you and you want to come and stretch out your sore hamstrings from today, we can do that. Otherwise, there's plenty of stretch classes up on the platform you can have a look at. Oh, yeah. Okay, so back to the abs. I think we just need to give our lower abs a tiny little bit of a warm up before we do what I've planned to do. So we might just pop the ball just to the side, just while we get them going. So taking the legs into tabletop, hands behind the head. This ball's going to roll around, that's right. We're going to lift into a chest lift here, and we're just going to toe tap. So one leg at a time. Just getting the lower half of our tummies ready for what's coming with the fit ball. Making sure we're driving the lower back down into the floor. Let's change to a single leg stretch. And then we're going to change to a double leg toe tap in a minute. So let's bring those legs back in, knees and ankles together, double toe tap and lift. Tap, lift, joining the top of your pelvis with the bottom of your ribs. Yes, definitely starting to warm up, aren't we? 3, 2, and 1. Good. Legs down. Grab your fit ball. Hopefully it hasn't gone far. So we're going to place the fit ball first of all in our hands, and then we're going to take our legs up into the air like so. So depending on how flexible your hamstrings are, you might need to adjust it a little bit. You can also feel free to bend the knees a little bit here. So we're going to take the legs about as wide as the fit ball and then bring them back together. About as wide, squeeze back together, drawing that belly button really close to your spine. That's it. All right, a little bit lower with the legs, not too far. Same thing, out and in. So we've got the ball, it's not doing much, but it means we can't use our hands on the floor. Out and in. To make it easy for yourself, ditch the ball, place your hands on the floor. It's good. A little bit lower with the legs. out, in, out, in. Are we kind of glad we warmed up those lower abs? Going straight into this would have been a bit of a nightmare. And we've got one more level, tiny bit lower, out, in, out, in. 3 more times, 3, 2, and 1. Lift them up, bend the knees, just give yourself a little break here, a little bit of a cuddle. All right, back up we go. This time legs will stay still. Take the ball behind us and bring it forward just to tap the legs. So not a lot going on in the upper body, but boy, it's hard to hold those legs there. So with the shoulders, depends where you hold the ball. If you hold it a little bit further back, you're going to get more of a stretch through your shoulders and your chest. If you hold it more the middle, it's going to be a little bit, I suppose, easier on the shoulder. So you can play around with that. If you've got a really big ball, it's going to be hard to hold it anywhere but the middle. Good. How are we going? I just keep talking to distract you from all this pain. Last one, and then we'll have a break for the legs. So we're going to find the floor this time and just rest the ball on top of your knees. Whew. We're getting there. Okay, this time we're going to pop the ball in between the ankles. So it's going to be even more hectic for those lower abs, hip flexors. Hold on to the backs of your legs while we get set up. All right, are we ready? Okay, hands are going to go by our side. We're going to bend the knees and then stretch. Bend the knees and stretch. That's it, driving that lower back down into the mat. Don't let your abdominals dome towards the roof. We want to try and keep everything nice and flat. Okay, last one here. And we're going to take the arms out to the side. Remember, if you're not using a fit ball and you're trying to modify here, it's the same. You just have the feet together. You could put a towel or something else in between your legs there. You just kind of follow the movement rather than worry about what the ball is doing. Because sometimes the ball makes it harder, sometimes it makes it easier. In this case, harder. Okay, last one. Back to center, bend the knees, find the floor. Just place the legs on top so we can get those hip flexors a little bit of a break. Oh, goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, right, let's not wallow in self-pity for too long. We're going to come all the way up. So this is a really horrendous exercise, so I'm going to apologize right now for it. I was going to do this earlier and then decided against it. Butts and shoulders and lots of things. Balance. If you do need a cushion under your knee, good time to grab it here. So very similar to a side lie kind of situation. The ball just makes everything much worse in terms of balance. Kind of baggy shirt on today. Everything's kind of getting in the way, but that's all right. Just leave it as it is. Okay, so I'm going to press my elbow down into the mat here and making sure this shoulder doesn't creep up towards my ear. I want to lift underneath the ribs, same as we do when we're side lying. And let's see how we go with the leg lift. Already, I feel an intense butt burn. So if you're not using the ball, you just have your hand on the floor like so. Or you could drop down to a side lie and be up on your elbow or be lying completely flat. Nice. You know what's coming. You know the side lie series. It's all hell, pure hell. We do it with a smile, it's not so bad. Okay. Forward to the front of the mat, behind to the back of the mat. Forward to the front of the mat, behind to the back of the mat. Lift the leg up a little higher. Forward and behind. Forward and behind. Forward and behind. Forward and behind. It's going to be short and sharp because it's horrendous. Lower that leg down. Don't worry about the ball. We're just going to stretch over like so. And we're going to interlude that glutes with a little bit of shoulder stuff. So we want to come into a little bit of an incline. So it's quite hard to hold here. So try not to stick your butt back too much. We're going to pull our butt under and we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and then push the ball away. So I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, push the ball away. If you were on the mat, you probably do it in a crawling position like so. Or you could also do it like that or in a plank. With the ball though, you've got that added challenge of instability. So try and focus. I know you can't really see my shoulder blades, but we're focusing on bringing them together as opposed to up around your ears. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Other side for our glutes. Let's just get into it and knock it over straight away. Okay, so find your position here, shoulder down, ribs lifted. When you're ready, lift and lower this top leg. Oh, there it is. There's that burn. I'm glad you've stuck with me for so long. We've got 7.5 minutes to go. I did actually use a fit ball for the whole class, didn't I? I hadn't planned to, but there you go. That's what happens. Lift. Let's bring it forward and behind. Some people think I spend hours planning my classes. That is definitely not the truth. I have a vague idea of what I want to do and then I just let my body take over. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's evil. It's always a challenge in there. Can we do 2 more? Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, take it behind. Lower it down. Leave the ball. Stretch it out. And up we go for our shoulder exercises again. Same exercise, no change. So find your alignment. Squeeze the shoulder blades, push away. Squeeze the shoulder blades, push away. As you can feel, there's a lot more going on than just the shoulder blades. A lot of engagement through your core. And 3 more times. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Good. Have a nice little side stretch out here using the ball. I'm just going to sit way back on my heels and I'm going to let the ball roll to one side. I'm going to counterbalance with my hips off my heels. Just the same as we would if we were not using the ball. This just makes it a little bit more intense for the shoulders. But if you prefer to do it without the ball, go for it. So that shoulder exercise that we just did sort of serves as a plank, but we might do a quick little plank and then we'll do a really lovely back extension. I think it's lovely. You'll see what you think. All right, so we're going to start with our hands in fists here on the edge of the ball. Don't start on top, start on the edge here like so. You're going to tuck your toes at the back of the mat. So we're going to roll slowly out so that our arms are supported by the ball and we're thinking about lifting up into a plank. So here's where we would start to lift our bodies up off the floor into a plank, but let's just go to about here to see if we're in the right spot, and then we'll roll back. Okay, next one, if you think you can, we're going to think about lifting our knees, maybe a centimetre. If you think you can go more than a centimetre, we're going to come all the way up, and then we're going to lower those knees and roll back. Okay, it might take you a few goes to get your arms set where you think they need to be. My friend the fit ball, hey? Not really my friend at all. And if you're not using a ball, just a normal plank, elbows, wrists, your choice. Make sure when you get up into your plank, you're not collapsing your chest onto your forearms. Keep space there. Then do one more. We can do it. Rolling out, up we come, rolling back. Hooray! Okay, let's come up onto sitting position. All right. So we're going to sit right at the back of your mat because this exercise rolls forward in the middle of your ball. And we're just going to walk nice and slowly. We're going to take the hands by our sides. We're going to take them forward actually as we roll forward. So we want to get the legs straight. The ball is supported under our back. We're going to take the arms behind us, resting your head on the back of the ball. Circle the arms around. Nodding chin to chest, and then we're going to roll back up into sitting. That sequence again, arms come forward as we roll down. Set your feet wide because it's better for your balance. Up and over. Hands hit the floor, circle the arms around. Rolling back up, you're going to step one foot in at a time. We have a rounded back here, and then we're going to sit up tall. And we go again, stepping out, straight legs, reaching back, beautiful stretch, and around, stepping back in, round the back, sitting tall. And again, now that we've got it, stepping the feet out. Play with how far your feet go maybe. It really changes up your back stretch. Round. We're going to do one more time, and then we'll be done. Scoop that belly, tummy to spine, round, 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 round. Straight legs, up and over. Circle around, rolling back, up, round the spine, sitting tall, and we're already halfway up, so we may as well just step straight up. Pop that ball away, and we will finish, as always, with 3 roll downs. Find your center, stand tall, nice big breath in, rolling down. Hopefully enjoyed class today, doing a few different things, challenging your body in different ways. Just learning how to use a fit ball if you've got one but you weren't necessarily really sure what to do with it. There aren't any rules. I make a lot of this stuff up, so as long as you're doing it with a Pilates focus or with a safe focus, you can do anything you like. Rolling down. And rolling up. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye, everyone.